Good morning. Welcome back to Crochet with Lulu. How is everyone doing this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday? Well, I have been trying my hand at amigurami, or amiguramis, however you say that. Some have been flips and flops, and some have been okay. I need a lot of practice. My magic ring really needs help. I'm learning now to chain two and then go back into the one furthest from the hook, the second loop that you done your slip knot in, and create my magic ring from there. I think I let it get in my head space, but I have been doing some. I think you would have seen Hen Pen and Penelope, the Granny Square emotional support chickens. They're on the shelf up there. And then I done my first little whale. My son's girlfriend's little boy calls him Whaley Jr. And he is now the proud owner of Whaley Jr. I will pop another picture at the end of this video if I can remember. This little thing that I'm going to show you is a total flip. First of all, I did order my safety eyes, and I was so thankful. I got a really good deal. I think it's a good deal. Let me know what you think. There's all the little backs. I got these from Amazon, and I think it was $6 for 1,000 pieces. So I'm just really tickled over that. I'm going to set that over here. Oh, and it came with this little thing. I'm not really sure what it does. So if any of you know, please tell me. I have no clue. My first object I'm going to show you is what I would call a flop. It is the poppet mushroom. Now from here it looks decent, right? It doesn't look too bad. I'm just using these balls. Sorry, you got the cheese ball sticker. These balls of yarn. So I'm trying to be creative with my colors because I tend to use variegated, and I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. So I'm trying to branch out, broaden my horizon. So from here, it doesn't look half bad. You know, I don't have any of the little dots on there. I didn't get all fanciful. So this is one of those poppet. So you see he's a little wonky. Now this is supposed to be him's little face. But him's little face is sort of messed up, and him's little, I call them dooflidgets, the little stem. But it does work. It does work. So as long as you would keep it this way, I dropped it. Let me pick him up. Not a good way to treat my new little poppet, is it? So okay, I call this a flop. You know, I'll admit it. Now the next one is, it can be a flop or a laugh. I laugh at my objects that look weird and strange. Okay. My choice of colors may or may not have been the reason it flopped. It's supposed to be a jellyfish. But I think the yellow and the green makes him look like he's a Tweety bird. So he could be a jelly bird or a birdfish. I have no clue what I was doing here. I was trying to go by a mouth video. It did not work. Safety eyes, I done well. I was proud of my safety eyes. I got them to click and all that good stuff. These things are not too bad. Looks sort of like the hippie age in the 70s. But, I mean, I'm not displeased with the shape of him, but I'm displeased with my color. But, you know, I mean, you win some, you lose some. And this is a learning curve for me because I'm not used to going spiral, I guess is what, you know, where you don't join with the slip stitch, you just keep going. Of course, he's got some sort of little hair disorder like I do, where your hair just kind of sticks up. But that is the second, maybe not a complete flop, but it is, I mean, I think if I had chose a better color up here, it would have looked better. And tell me what you think. Tell me, do you get creative with your colors? And I'm starting off small. That is my game plan, is to, if you hear snoring in the background, all four are asleep. Do you hear that? They are asleep. So, a few weeks ago, I told you I had bought the little whale kit from the Dollar Quarter Tree. And of course, at that time, the instructions made no sense. No sense. They're beginning to maybe make some sense. So I'm gonna try him again. I'm not sure if there is a picture. Okay. Sorry about the crinkling. This is what he's supposed to look like. So my first whale, I went ahead and I used a YouTube video and I done the little bitty tiny whale, which you would have seen a picture, but I will try to think to add that on at the end because he's already in his new home with his new little friend. So, you know, and this stuffing goes a long way. This was for that original whale. Now he has this little bag. I probably won't have enough to stuff the whale, but I have another one. But this little bag has stuffed quite a bit. I mean, he stuffed, I'm thinking, the little poppet mushroom flop and the jelly bird fish. So, anyways, I've got a lot to learn, you know, and I'm having fun. I'm broadening my horizons, so to speak. And I have other things to do today, but instead I was sitting here doing the jellyfish. I call him the jellyfisher. So what have y'all been working on? And tell me, those of you that do the amiguramis or however you say that A word, let me know what you're making, and do you follow a tutorial or a pattern? I'm still trying to learn patterns. I think once I do the tutorial versions of a few things and get used to the jargon, you know, and the sequence of events with the stitches, then I think I can learn. Sorry, I keep slumping over here lately and it makes my back hurt. I think I can learn how to read patterns. I've had, my mother would call it a deficit. My mother was hilarious. She was like me, she would make up words. So she would call it, you know, she would probably say, Luann, you have a deficit. And I do, because it just doesn't make sense to me. But now it's kind of all coming together, thankfully. So I'm bound and determined to kick this thing and learn how to read patterns and do the amigurumis, however you say that A word. It's been a beautiful week here. We've had beautiful, beautiful sunshiny days. My ice maker just clicked. I emptied the bucket out earlier in the freezer because there was this thick of, for some reason, and I'm not sure why, it had melted. I don't know if maybe we had had a power outage and just didn't think to check the ice maker bucket, but I emptied that all out this morning. So I just heard, I guess maybe it's first drop. Anyways, it's been gorgeous weather. We've had beautiful sunny days, but we have had wind. Oh my word. Wind, wind, wind. Monday, my son cleaned up around the driveway and some out of the basement, and our Christmas ornaments, the outside ones, were history. He was displeased with them because, oh my word, we bought these from Lowe's and he spent a small fortune on those Christmas ornaments to make me happy with the front yard at Christmas. And I'm going to say it, every dead gum, one of them had problems. I mean, he spent, there's no telling what. Like the Nutcracker that I loved him so much, but he's gone. He's in the wherever. He wouldn't stand up. After about the first year, he started having problems. He looked like he was nipping with the drink, and he would just fall over. And I know what you're going to say, stake him down. We had stakes and all his little strings, but he was still falling over on the job. So then the other Nutcracker that my son got for this side of the yard, he was one of those you clip together with all these little dooflegit clips and all this apparatus gizmos. He fell apart the first year. He just, part of him just broke. So my thinking was, I'll get a stick. So I've got him put up downstairs in the basement. So I'm hoping to get a stick this next Christmas season and maybe nail gun him to the stick, and maybe he'll stand up. We don't know. I don't know. The Santa Claus that was on the ladder with the little reindeer, it just never would stay. Part of its lights quit working. So, I mean, oh my word, you spend a fortune and then they just kind of all fell apart. But anyways, getting back to Monday, he cleaned up the yard, and I picked up the trash that had blown. The wind was so terrible. There's bags and trees in the back lot. But he spent that day cleaning up, and I picked up and scooped up things in the basement that had blown under the door and leaves and such. And I think I got sinus infection along with all the wind blowing. And do you like my hand signal? Sorry. So last night, for 2 days, I just did not feel like socializing or doing anything. And I hate it when I feel that way. So I just kind of kept to myself and sat on the porch as much as I could in the sun, but the wind was just so cold. And then by last night, I was freezing. I mean, I was absolutely just chilled to the bone, and it's all past. Thank the Lord it's all past, because I feel fine today. I took a sneezing spell earlier this morning, but that doesn't shock me because usually when there's things blooming and that, but I'm fine. I mean, thankfully I'm fine. I just had those kind of moments, where you feel yucky. But I'm determined to learn how to do these, I'll say plushies and stuffies. I'm determined. And, I'm so thankful that my little eye kit came. I've still got to find out what this little tool is for. Do any of you know what this would be used for? Because the only thing I can figure is maybe it helps you. Oh, so apparently there's noses in here. Oh, how cool. Oh, this is cute. Oh, if I could just, Yes, eyes and noses. Oh, so yeah, we do have eyes and noses. Aren't those little fillers cute? I just think that's so cute. There's no patterns, you know, which I didn't expect there would be. The only thing I can think of is maybe this helps push that little plastic piece on the back of your noses and eyes. I'm not sure, but I have a little sharp tool for some reason. So I've got to find a safe place to put this from 4 little mouthers and 4 little babies. I cannot believe they're sleeping this long, but I'm thankful. I'll take it. I'm going to go fix my salad for lunch, and I have a drink outside. It's been one of those mornings where I'm thinking, did I do this, or am I supposed to do this? Or so I've taken notes. I've written down things that I needed to accomplish, and part of them I have. I think while they're asleep, I'm going to fix my salad, do the dishes, and then take them back out. I had them out for a while, and I was content to sit outside with them, but they had this thing. We have the sweetest male carrier. We just love him. He is awesome. Every one of them that we've had here, we've just really loved. But he takes to the fur children, and he gives them treats if they're out. Well, they got used to this last summer, and they started this little game with him, and I tried not to have them out when I thought he was coming, but we don't know the time because his route runs through the main part of town, and sometimes I guess that takes up a long while. So I try to watch for him, but today, for some reason, I mean, we know my mind. They'll study me someday. But anyways, I forgot to pay attention. And he came up before I thought. Well, here, 3 of them go rushing towards him. And of course, they want treats, and they're very unthankful. They don't say thank you or anything. So he was, I told him, I said, you know, if I could just put them through training school, get them all trained where they'll mind. And he gets so tickled at them. But I've got to get some drinks to keep here because I'm always saying be kind. And the summertime, I know, has to be just about as hard as the wintertime on delivery folks. And I'm going to try to get some Gatorades or Propel waters or something to keep here to stick out for them, because I appreciate them so much. Their job has to be very strenuous because, I mean, they put up with some that's vicious. These are not vicious. They just want treats and loving and head scratches and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm sure they put up with so much flack. But I'm cutting this video now because I'm rattling on. I'm talking silly foolishness. But I just wanted to show you that I am trying. I am trying. I need to put that aside for the rest of the day and get busy on some projects that I do need to work on. But that was something that I've been wanting to do, and that was my New Year's goal, you know, was to learn that. And I'm learning. It's a little slower than I thought, because some of the projects I thought was going to be very, very easy turned out to be little dealies. But that's okay. I'm learning the process. Like the first little whale, you actually had the 2 fins and the 2 tail, or the 2 fins and the 1 tail, but you had to make it two parts of the tail. So you had to attach them. So, you know, I got to learn that process, although I think one of my little fins may have been backwards. So it kind of looks like it's swimming frontwards and backwards. So anyways, we know that something on it's going to be a little wonky. But I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm learning. Now this one, the girl that I watched do the tutorial done totally different than me. I just kind of moderated, not even the right word, Luann, modified it to my own thing. But she fixed a key ring in the top. I didn't do that because I just figure he'll carry it in his pocket. I'm trying to make him several things. He was so cute Saturday or Sunday. He sat down with my phone and he picked out a whole bunch of little things he wants me to make. Now, that little poppet mushroom was one of them. I'll probably give that to him, but I'm going to tell him, don't show your friends. Don't show your friends. Just, you know, if you want to pop something, just pop it and put it back in your little pocket and don't show anybody. Because it definitely was just a little wonky. But anyways, I'm trying. Just wanted to show you. I'm trying. I do have some flops and some flips and color disfigurations. I'll learn. I will learn. Thank you for bearing with me. Please leave me comments if you do these things and what colors you use, because as you see, I would like to use up as much of this as I can. And I have some pretty pastel blue that's a little bit more vibrant than this, but this is the color that I made the first little wheel. So I would like to use these colors up before I start using my other stash of yarns to do, you know, I mean, these are just kind of little fidget things for him. And I told him, I said, you can carry your little wheel in your pocket and don't worry if you lose him or if he comes apart. Lulu will make you another one. And I meant just that. So have a good rest of the day, and I will try to see you back towards maybe Friday or Saturday with some more hoopla, and hopefully they won't be flops. Hopefully they'll be good. There's so many things I see and I'm thinking, oh, I want to make that, but I need to start small. You know, I'm thinking little right now, and then, you know, I'll grow with it. So I do have my safety eyes and noses now, so I can't do that. I should have, well, he would have looked funny with a nose and no mouth, but I will learn how to do the mouths. So have a good rest of the day, good rest of the week, and catch me back next time with more stuff. Bye-bye.